now we are going to discuss the topic teaching of structure and vocabulary. So the language learning is especially we are talking about the English language learning. We have to make the learner as very effective learner by using the language in their day-to-day life wherever and when they require usage of the English language. So here, to make the learner as confident towards speaking English language, we have to focus on the structure and vocabulary. So here the structure and vocabulary is based on the word power. So if the student is having more vocabulary with the students, definitely they can represent or they can present in their day-to-day life. So as a language teacher, we have to focus more on the vocabulary part. So the structures are very important one, which is giving complete structure to the sentence. Without structure, we can't prepare a sentence. So here the structure is like which is giving a complete structure to the body, and whereas coming to the vocabulary is nothing but giving organs and flesh to the body. So like this, the structure and vocabulary were had given important role in our day-to-day life. So almost all the structure and vocabulary. Without structure, there is no proper vocabulary, as well as coming to the vocabulary, to get more meaningful one, we have to follow like different types of structures based on different types of sentences or based on different types of tenses or different, like we can focus on the grammar part, like parts of speech. So if it is a verb form or if it is adjective form or whether it will be noun form, we have to focus on structure as well as along with the vocabulary part. So here the vocabulary is a set of familiar words within a person's language. So here the vocabulary is nothing but like word power. It's like a word bank. Word bank. So the vocabulary is a set of familiar words within a person's language. So once the child is having more vocabulary, automatically it is going to create confidence in the learner, so that it is going to create a good environment or learning environment in the student or the learners. So acquiring an extensive vocabulary is one of the largest challenge in learning a second language. So as we are learning English language as a second language, so obviously every learner or every pupil is having their phobia that they are learning the foreign language. So based on the importance of language, instead of third language, English was modified as a second language. So to make this more effective or the more challenging among the students, we have to make them to practice more number of vocabulary terms. So if the child is having more familiar with the words, definitely it is going to represent a person's language. So where and what type of words are required, definitely it is having clarity with the learners. So acquiring an extensive vocabulary is one of the largest challenge in learning a second language. Now we are talking about the English language. So here the type of vocabulary is categorized into like three types: active vocabulary, recognition vocabulary, and the ad hoc vocabulary. So coming to first one, the vocabulary, active vocabulary. So the words that a pupil can use when they speaks or writes called as the active vocabulary. So as per their requirement, they have to concentrate on the active words. As per their requirement, they have to concentrate on the usage of the words in their day-to-day life. So whatever the words they learn, that should be in the active form. Active form in the sense, they have to use them wherever they required, and whatever they want to speak, at the time they have to represent that such type of words. If they require to write something, they have to represent such type of words. So the active participation or the usage of the vocabulary should be in the form of active manner. Then only that will be more effective vocabulary. So here we can concentrate on the words that a pupil can use, the words that a pupil can use when they speak or write, called as the active vocabulary. So here the pupil, for example, this is strange. Here we can look into one example. This is strange, means which is new one. So here we are thinking into that it was new, the strange. So when we talking about, in all the times we can't use this strange word. If any new person is a stranger. So based on that word we have to use wherever the necessity, and while writing part also we have to look into that. So the vocabulary is possible or getting perfection only through the active vocabulary. So they have to use them while speaking or writing as a day-to-day life. Coming to second one is recognition vocabulary. So the pupil try to understand these words while listening to somebody or reading a text. For example, they are reading a text, but they don't need to use them at the time. For example, looking into this recognition vocabulary, pupil try to understand these words. The student were trying to understand these words while listening to somebody. So the others, the speaker is speaking the words. This listener is trying to understand that word or reading a text. While reading also whatever the word, we are trying to understand the word, but they don't need to use them at that time. For example, in the active vocabulary, we have to use while speaking or writing. Whereas coming to the recognition vocabulary, it is giving meaning, complete meaning to the listener or while reading the textbook. So here at the time you are listening to the listener or a speaker, but here the word is not an essential part in our day-to-day life. For example, here we can look into the word comforted. So here the comforted is, of course, we can use this word as a part of vocabulary of the English pupil, but here we can look at the word profusely, P-R-O-F-U-S-E-L-Y. So here this word may not be useful in our day-to-day life as much expected by the different words or whatever the meaning is related to that. So here, however, the student will understand the word when it is used by the others in a context. Such words or may not be useful in our day-to-day life, because few words we can use as the occasional words. While speaking only we use just to understand by the others. For our convenient or to the listener convenient part, we can make such type of words. But these words will not act as a active vocabulary. Coming to the ad hoc vocabulary, ad hoc, A-D-H-O-C, ad hoc vocabulary. Some words may be important for a given piece of text. Some words may be important for a given piece of text, but outside it, they are unlikely to have much value. So here the ad hoc vocabulary is nothing but the words may be important for a given piece of text. Whatever the text is given, for that only it had given importance. Whereas coming to the looking into the outside part and coming to the other part of that, they are unlikely to have much value. For example, here we have talking about the different types of snakes in the nature. So we looking into different kinds of snakes in the nature. They are usually snakes like categorization, like blind snakes and some are with poisonous, some are with non-poisonous snakes. And like in these snakes we can categorize like pythons, cobra, and these all we can make as a big and as well as a poisonous. And one side we can have the list of these like NASA and all those. So here the based on this importance or some of the words may be given as a piece of text, but outside it is not going to give much value. So therefore here we are not focusing on teaching of meaning of these words in the elaborative way. Means here the elaboration of the word does not required in the ad hoc vocabulary. So here we can find it necessary that we can give them meaning in mother tongue. So here to explain such type of words in the ad hoc vocabulary, exactly it does not require to give meaning in the mother tongue. So like we can go for like gloss. Gloss is nothing but the surface area, the smooth area, this word. So here to say that we can give their exact meaning in the given context. Based on the context we can give the complete meaning. Otherwise there is no need to give the meaning of such type of ad hoc vocabulary words. So to make the vocabulary as very effective one among the students, so the language teacher intention is make the student with the more vocabulary words. So here we have to follow certain techniques of teaching vocabulary. So here using real objects. So here a real object. So this is also like a real object. So among the classroom we have some real objects were available within the classroom. So some objects were available within the classroom. For example, textbooks were available and pens or the pencils and all those. And the next one we can have some handkerchiefs were available, lock, key, and like, so these all will be available in the classroom. So based on that we can make them to use of vocabulary, and what way the classroom object can be used as realia while teaching different words. Clock, we can talk about that within the classroom, or the table, chair. By looking into that we can have more real objects in the classroom. Based on that we can create more number of vocabulary words to the students. So whatever the teaching aids, we can take help of the teaching aids. Along with this we can have the real objects within the classroom, which is not having more comfortable to the student. So here by looking into the school bags or the textbooks or the scale, pencil, these are available in the classroom. Based on this, whatever the explanation we have to give, the word vocabulary we can incorporate in the students within the classroom environment. Coming to the picture and matchstick diagrams. So here usually every student will show more interest to looking into the pictures. So if it is possible, we have to get the pictures of the animals or plants or whatever the sources are required, what exactly the topic is talking about. So that pictures we can show to the students. Okay, and not only that, so by looking into different types of pictures also, we can make the student to categorization of the different pictures. For example, we can show 3 related like animal pictures, and one will be non-living thing like any other object. So definitely we can give the student to differentiate these 4. So the student will give the response like these 3 are belonging to animal family, the other one is belonging to which is not related to the same family. Or by giving some examples like mammals, or which are giving like plants, differentiation, flower giving plants and which is giving the fruit. So we have to give differentiation. So based on that they will categorize what comes under fruits are giving by the such plant and what are giving the flowers. So these all categorization will be there, so that the observation skill will be developed among the learners. So the pictures are more effective in the classroom. So the picture availability of the classroom may not be possible with all the pictures. So by having some PowerPoint presentations or taking help of computer as a TLM in the classroom, so that they can differentiate and the class will be more effective to the learners. And coming to the next one is talking about the matchstick diagrams. So here by taking help of matchsticks also we can prepare like some pictures which are going to create a vocabulary part. And coming to the using gestures, expressions and action. So as a language teacher we must focus on these skills, gestures, expressions and actions. So then only for example the teacher is explaining about the poem. So definitely the teacher has to give certain expressions which we have to concentrate on the intonation, pause, stress, rhythm, these all we have to focus. Then only they will come to know the importance of poem or poetry. Looking into the poem, if this is based on the expressions or following certain rules and regulations, punctuality and all those punctuals like comma, colon, we have to focus on this. Based on that they will come to know the importance of a poem, then only they will come to know the beauty of the poem. These all based on the expression or voice or the clarity of the language teacher. So here the gestures also very important one. For example, if the teacher want to make the classroom as very calm. So here they can go for a gesture like keeping finger on the mouth, and every student will understood that oh, the teacher is expecting for the keeping quiet in the classroom. And some expressions, if the teacher expressed if she is feeling very anger with the student, definitely the expression will be in different manner. If the teacher is feeling joyful in the classroom, definitely it had shown in the form of a happy face. So all these expressions are very, very important for the especially to the language teachers. Whereas coming to the some actions. So for example, especially to talk about or to teach to the student the grammar part or the tenses part, we have to look into the actions. So the actions are making the student to grasp the structure in an easy manner. So here the teacher want to talk about the structure like I'm going or I'm walking. So just observe the students, what I'm doing right now. Immediately the student will say, you are writing on the blackboard. Teacher, you are writing on the blackboard. This is an action. So this is going to be helpful to improve their sentence structure as well as what concept the teacher want to teach. So the using gestures as well as expressions and actions should be available techniques among the teachers within the class. And the next one is dictionary. So the dictionary is especially making the student to improve their vocabulary. So whatever the word you want to express to the student, complete knowledge should be given to the student through the dictionary. So what way we have to pronounce means here exactly we have to look into the phonetic transcription where we have to stress and what is exactly the meaning and what are the synonymous words, and along with that we have antonyms also. So here these all will be well known to the student usage of the dictionary. And the initial stages we have to make them to use the dictionary by giving 3-letter words or the 4-letter words. So then we have to look into the different means standardization should be increased. The term or the complex word should be incorporated to the student while using the dictionary. And coming to the related word for these dictionaries, we can make the student to refer the thesaurus also. That is more informative, and what exactly from where the word had derived from, the root word for the same word, that will be available in the thesaurus, which is more informative than the dictionary. But up to school level we can insist them to follow the dictionary. So at least as a teacher we have to make the student to carry the dictionary in their day-to-day life, which is going to be helpful, and based on this they are going to learn more vocabulary words. If for example taking one word, in the other forms of that word also available in the dictionary. So that awareness and importance as a language teacher we have to create. In the initial stage we have to make them to use the dictionary with the 3-letter or 4-letter words, and later we have to increase the standard of usage of the dictionary with the complicated terms. And we have to give certain instructions how easily we can look into the dictionary. Even we are not finding for the high school students also, they are not in a position to look into the dictionary in a proper way. So to give for example, if they had given the word like K-lettered word, so definitely immediately they can't shift to K-lettered. So they are looking into where exactly the K is coming, before letter and after letter. They are recollecting the ABCDs and they are looking into, oh, this is the place we are getting K. So this is the waste of time and not having confident of looking into the dictionary. So once it is making as a habitual of the usage of dictionary, immediately they will catch the word, and within seconds they are going to give response to the question or the teacher. So here this is also one of the technique which we can improve the vocabulary part among the learners. And the next one is talking about the related words. So here we have to look into whatever the words were related for that we have to give. For example, we can create or make the student to imagine situation like giving one article or one example like train or aeroplane or whatever it may be, one example, or classroom. So here the situation or the word is given to the student, classroom, and we have to make the student to look into what are the available things, what are the interlinked words to the classroom we have to make a mark. We have to make a mark what are related situations or related things which is to the classroom. So immediately they will try to find more number of words. So the classroom is related with the blackboard, students, teacher, chair, table, benches, books. These all the different words which we are going to get from the students. So like this, every child is going to participate on their own by trying to give more number of examples, so that the appreciation will be given by the teacher by participating more number of students. So this is also one of the technique which we can use for the teaching of vocabulary. So by giving more definitions also, we can make the student or the meaning of a word to a pupil. We can define it for the for example, you want to talk about a professor is a person who teaches at the university. It's a professor. Means here they can give the definition. Professor means they are teaching to the higher level or the university level. Whereas coming to the teacher, they can differentiate, they can give the definition. And based on this, we can give more number of definitions, and they are coming to know the vocabulary. Professor is teaching to the university level, teacher is teaching to the primary level. So there will be a differentiation as well as definition. They are going to have the clarity among these. And coming to translating words into mother tongue. So this is as a part of methods and approaches, we are following different types of methods, like teaching language can be with the bilingual method or the grammar translation method. So as we know, the second language is more tough language to the students. They feel that it is a tough language, it is a hard. But here with taking help of mother tongue or translating it into mother tongue, definitely they feel more convenient to learn the language. So that is different based on the translating words into mother tongue is also one of the technique to improve the vocabulary. So here, for example, if there is no harm in translation or providing to the new words for the translated and not the entire text. So here in the translating words into mother tongue, the complete text is not translated into mother tongue. So whatever the complex words, unknown words to the students, then only that will be taking help of mother tongue and explaining to the students. So based on that, they will come to know the meaning of that particular word and vocabulary of that particular word. So here we have to focus on the passive words. Whatever the tough words are, right now they are knowing that word in this chapter. So that should be very clear in translating the words into mother tongue, so that they may not feel any tough, and there is nothing wrong in translating into mother tongue. That is also one of the technique to improve the vocabulary among the learners. And one more is crossword puzzle and games. So this is also one of the important activity which we can create in the classroom. So here as a language teacher, we can create crossword puzzles by giving 5 into 5 rows or 10 into 10 rows, and we have to give some words. We have to mention some words by giving some clues. So based on that, they will try to think it on that. So even they will take help of their same group or help of their others. They will try to fulfill those columns. Even these crossword puzzle we can use for the improvement of mathematics also. So here these crossword puzzle is also one of the tool or the technique to improve the vocabulary part. And creating such type of games among the within the classroom, we can improve the vocabulary part. For example, we have to make the student to act as one person. There can be one discussion. So based on that, they are going to interpret whatever the terms they have. It is nothing like sharing of information by taking help of the English language. This is also one of the source for the technique of improving vocabulary. Coming to the different types of games. Among the classroom, we can create like games, and outside the classroom also we can create different types of games which can encourage the student in improve their vocabulary part. And the next one is talking about encouraging extensive reading. So this is also one of the good habit of getting or gaining more vocabulary words. Okay. So here, as a schooling completed up to 10th class, around they should have around a minimum 3000 to 4000 minimum basic vocabulary with them, along with around 300 structures. So once they are having such type of command over the vocabulary as well as the structures, definitely they'll have lot of interest on speaking, as well as they'll try to write it on paper. So here, encouraging extensive reading is also one of the technique to gain more and more vocabulary. So the encouraging the student of reading textbooks other than the textbooks or the curriculum related textbooks are also one of the source to improve their vocabulary part. So the encouragement of the reading is done by the teacher as well as the parents. So coming to this vocabulary is like the bricks of a building. So here to construct a building, and what is the importance of brick we know. So without bricks we can't construct the building. So that much importance is given to the vocabulary. It is like the brick of a building, and it is an essential component of the language learning. To make the structure as a meaningful one, to make as a passage with the meaningful one, then this vocabulary is very, very important one. And coming to the vocabulary is the most important for the language fluency and academic achievement. So to represent their words on the answer script or on the writing part, the vocabulary is taking a crucial role. So the representation of the words are very, very important one, whether in what extent the subject had learned by the learners. That is possible through the vocabulary. So the vocabulary is a very important language fluency and also for the academic achievement. So if they have command over the all different types of vocabulary, definitely they can represent the words in a proper way. And vocabulary is a subset of all four language skills in the process of language learning. So here the vocabulary is a subset of all four basic language skills in the process of language learning. So in the language learning, ultimately it is talking about the basic skills of L, S or W, listening, speaking, reading and writing. So here the vocabulary is a subset in focusing on the four language skills in the process of language learning. So here we have to look into or focus into four skills, then only the language can be effective to the learner. So if they are listening to any context or they are listening to any lecture or seminar, that should be represented on their own words in the form of speaking skill. So to speak something about whatever they listen, they should know the vocabulary, what type of words I can use, because whatever they listen as it is words, they can't represent sometimes. So whatever they understood by the speaker, they'll frame their own sentences, they'll frame their own vocabulary. That should be represented in the speaking. So once they have command over the speaking skill, definitely they'll concentrate on reading. To extend or to elaborate more knowledge, they focus on the reading skill. So once they have command on the speaker, whatever they listen, and reading the text, these two are making them to represent in the form of writing skill. So the writing skill is representing and what type of vocabulary they had written, and based on that the student academic achievement is also going to be assessed. So here this is a link between the vocabulary and the having four basic skills of language: listening, speaking, reading and writing. So once they have command over all these four basic skills, definitely they can have good effort on the academic achievement. That result will be as per the expectations of the student. So we have to look into, or we have to make the student and the importance of structure as well as the vocabulary. So coming to next one is talking about the word formation. To get perfection with the vocabulary part, we have to focus on the word formation. So every language is in constant need of new words due to developments in field like technology and globalization. So as we know how much development were taken place as a part of science and technology. So based on this, every language is in a constant need of new words. Definitely we have to incorporate different types of new words. Then only it is showing the development. So without new words, it is not showing that the development will not taken place. So here every language to word formation, every language is in constant need of new words due to developments in fields like technology and globalization. So here we have an example like subject like biotechnology. Biotechnology. So here the subject itself is talking about the biological science, whereas it is having a link with the technology part. So that was a new course or the new adaptation were taken place towards the development. So means here the biology is linked with the technology, that is a biotechnology. So here everywhere we need development. Everywhere we need development. So as a part of language also, we have to focus more on the need of new words due to development. So we have to adapt, then only the development will be taken place. So the word structure is related to the word formation study, which analyze how a word can be formed into meaning. So in this we have to look into the word structure, which is related to the word formation study and which is analyzing how a word can be formed into a meaningful one. So coming to the morphology. So morphology is the study of a word formation. Morphology is the study of word formation or word parts. Morphology is the study of word formation or word parts or root words. So here there are three terms for the morphology. The first one is word formation. Morphology is nothing but the study of word formation, how the word was formed, or word parts. Word parts, or what is the root word for the particular word. And morpheme is the smallest part of the word carries meaning. Morphology is the study of word formation, whereas coming to the morpheme is the smallest part of the word carries meaning. That is the difference between study of word formation is morphology, and the smallest part of the word is talking about the morpheme. So here an example like unhappy. Unhappy. So here there are two morphemes in this word. There are two morphemes, unhappy. The other word is happy. These are the two words. So coming to the morphology part, it is the study of word formation, whereas coming to the morpheme is talking about the smallest part of the word carries meaning. So even by looking into this word unhappy, there are two morphemes, two small part of word un plus happy. Then we are going to get the meaningful word, that is unhappy, means which is not happy, like sad. Coming to the base word. In the first we talk about the word formation, the next one is base words. So it is the smallest group of letters. The base words are the smallest group of letters that forms a complete meaning. The base words means it is the smallest group of letters that forms a complete word. In the base word, it is giving complete word. We can add letters to beginning or ending. So for these base words, this is the smallest group of letter and that is giving complete word. So how these base words were formed? We can add letters to beginning or ending. To get these base words, we can add the letters at the beginning or ending of that particular word. For example, care. Care is one base word. So based on the care, we can prepare different types of sentences. So the basic word is care. So here we can prepare examples like Sarah cares for her plants. Means here the Sarah is a girl who is taking care of her plants. Means here the total sentence or the structure of the sentence is based on the word care. This is a basic word. This is a base word, but it is very simple word and the small word. So based on the smallest word we can frame a meaningful sentence like Sarah cares for her plant. So the sentence itself is indicating that it is in a complete sentence as well as which is giving complete meaning. Talking about Sarah is a girl, she is to take care of her plants. This is a sentence, the basing on the word care. Whereas coming to the same base word care only, Suma is under the care of a doctor. Means there is a complete difference in these two sentences. The first sentence is talking about that girl is taking care of the plants. The girl is taking care of the plants. Whereas coming to the second example, Suma is under the care of a doctor. So the plants were taken care by Sarah in the first example. In the second example, Suma is under the care of a doctor. Means this girl, Suma is a girl, she is under the care of a doctor. Means the doctor is taking care of the girl, that is Suma. So here these two sentences, care is giving into different. So the Sarah cares for her plants is one sentence. The other sentence, Suma is under the care of a doctor. But these two sentences, whatever the word we used, it's a very small word. And for this to make us more comfortable or the meaningful sentence, we added the words in the beginning as well as in the ending to make as the meaningful sentence. Coming to next one is root word. Root word. So these root words information is available in the thesaurus, which is going to helpful for the reference skills. As we have the reference skills like dictionary and thesaurus. So the dictionary is giving complete meaning of that particular word and how to pronounce the word and punctuation part and how it should be stressed and all those will be given. And coming to the root word, exactly the word had derived from where and what is the meaning of that one will be available in the root words. So the root words, it carries the main part of the word's meaning, but it often needs a prefix or suffix to form a complete word in English. So the root words which is carrying the main part of the word's meaning, but it often needs a prefix or suffix to form a complete word in meaning. For example, here the word, a simple word is pay. This is a root word. This is a basic word. To get the meaningful word, here we are depending, or sometimes we can add it in the prefix before the word pay or after the word, that is pay. So here we have example like pay is a word, root word. Based on this we developed repay, means paying one more time. Already you paid, again you are paying, that is repay. And next word, this repay is talking about prefix for the word we use as the before. And coming to the payment, already it was done, payment, P-A-Y-M-E-N-T. Here the word is formed with the suffix. So the root word can take help of the prefix as suffix to form a complete word in English. So here we have one term, that is blending. So the blending is the process of combining parts of two words. So the blending is the process of combining parts of two words. So a blend is formed. So the blending is nothing but the combining parts of two words. So in this we can look into that, like a blend is formed by merging the sounds and meanings. In this blending process, merging the sounds and meanings of two or more words. These are also called as portmanteau. So here the blending is the process of combining parts of two words. So the blending means it is a process of combining two words. Two words combination is called as blending. So a blend is formed by merging the sounds and meanings of two or more words. So the blend is formed by merging the sounds and meanings of two or more words. So these are also called as portmanteau. Portmanteau means here the word is formed, the sound based on the merging the sound and meaning to get complete sentence by combining two parts of two words. So for example, teleprinter. For example, we have to look into like teleprinter plus exchange. Here these are the two words. So based on this, in the process of blending, we are looking into the words like combining parts of two words. Combining parts of two words. The first word is teleprinter. The second word is exchange. Teleprinter. The second word is exchange. So teleprinter plus exchange. We are going to get the new word, that is telex. The new word is telex. Like we have different words, these type of words are called the portmanteau. For example, and one more, smog plus fog. Smoke plus fog. We heard this word in general, smog. Smog is a combination of the two words, smoke plus fog equals to smog. Okay. And like we have some well-known example like breakfast plus lunch. Breakfast is one word plus lunch is the other word. By combining these two, we are going to get that one is brunch. B-R-U-N-C-H. And the next, like we have the other words like motor road. Motor road plus hotel. The combination, we are going to get the word motel. M-O-T-E-L. So these are different types of words which we can use, and we can consider them as the root words. So here the root word actually it's like Greek. So in English, many root words came from Greek or Latin, and many root words came into existence with the Greek or Latin word. So the root word can be found at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of the words. For example, one more example we can have like in the process of blending or a root word, struct. We have the construct or destruct. The struct is the word. We can have the construct or destruct or obstruct. These are the different types of root words. Pay, repay and payment. So in this root word process we have one more, that is blending, which is talking about combining these two, that is portmanteau. And the next one is affixation. So it is the process of adding a morpheme to a word. Affixation is a process of adding a morpheme to a word to create either a different form of that word. To create a different form of that word. So the affixation is the most common way of making new words in English. So in this we can go for the example like communication. So in this word we can have the word like communicate, communicative and communicate. These are like different words. Affixation, or we are using communicative or communication or uncommunicative. These are the different forms. Means here sometimes we are adding the help of prefix, sometimes we are adding help of place of that IVE, communicative, IVE, and some few examples we had taken like uncommunicative, added prefix like un. So these are the different types of affixation which we as a part of this word formation. And that there are two primary kinds of affixations are there. The one is prefixation and the suffixation, prefix and the suffix. as we know prefix and suffix. So the prefix, a group of letters added at the beginning of a root word that changes its meaning. So the prefix is a group of letters. Prefix is a group of letters added at the beginning of a root word that changes its meaning. So for example here, automobile, by combining this automobile. So the auto or these two are meaningful. Each word is having itself its own meaning. But here by adding this we are going to find the other one. And the next one is mono, means single, only one, and lingual means two. So the combining or the prefix word is talking about the monolingual. Coming to suffix, after the word we have to add. So a group of letters added at the end of a root word and changes its meaning. So the suffix is a group of letters added at the end of a root word and changes its meaning. For example, it is talking about lifeless. Life is a word, adding suffix less. So lifeless means there is no life. And coming to sleepless, sleep is a word, adding to that less, nes, sleeplessness means not having sleep. So this is one more example for the suffix. So by looking into this we are coming to know the clarity between prefix and the suffix. And one more is that is compounding words. How we can compound the words, means which is nothing but adding. So this is a process of combining root words to get compound words and phrasal words, which are phrases but function as the same word. So here the compounding is the process of combining two root words, to get one compound meaning or the compound word or phrasal word, which are phrases but function as word. But as usual it is functioning like word only. Even we are compounding also, it is functioning like word only. For example, blackboard. So in general, why we use the blackboard? A board for writing. This is one part of the blackboard explanation. So other part we can combine like a board that is black in color is the other way we can express. So these are two. This is the way we can compound the sentences. And compound words are written in three different ways. Open. In this first we will look into the open type. So words are written with a space between the part of the compound. So while writing the compounding words, we are giving in between two words space. It is mentioning with the space. For example, here we had given is a flower part. So the flower is one word, the part is other word. But here we are combining this to get a meaningful, the other object we are going to get. So first here we had given the open place for one word to the other word. This is one type of compounding word. And second one is hyphenated word. Hyphenated word means here the word itself is indicating, the heading itself is indicating, giving hyphen among two words. So the words are written with a hyphen separating its components. The word is separated by giving hyphen. Example is hand wash. The hand is one word, wash is different word. But here we are combining the word by taking help of hyphen, that is hand wash. This is like second different compounding word. One is open, second one is hyphenated, and the third one is solid. Words are written without a hyphen or space between the words. In the open we had given space. In the hyphenated we mentioned the compound word by giving hyphen. In the solid form and the solid words we had written without a hyphen or space between the two words. Pick is one word, pocket is the other word. So here the new word formed was pickpocket is the other word. So here no hyphen is mentioned in the middle of pick and pocket, and no space is provided, no open space is provided between pick and pocket. But here in the solid form it was written without a hyphen or space between these two words. So that is pickpocket. So these are the different types of compound words which we can make the student as more vocabulary part improving there as a word power among the student. So this is the importance of vocabulary as a part of framing structures and as well as vocabulary part. So once we make the teacher as very effective for the language learning, the teaching should be very effective manner, so that it is going to be helpful to the learners, especially the talking about the second language. Once they have more vocabulary part with them, definitely it is going to helpful them in preparing more structures as well as more vocabulary, so that the command of the language will be increased. It will be improved by having more number of vocabulary part. Thank you.